Hey everyone, we're Chris and Sandy with the Chris and Sandy Show, where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We're excited to have country music artist Shea Fisher with us today. From Aussie rodeo roots to Nashville stages, she's back with her bold new single, Owl and Cowboy, co-written with Walker Hayes.
And we're excited to talk to her. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. You're actually my first interview since the single came out. So,
wow. Oh, that is awesome. So tell us about the story behind Owl and Cowboy, and what was it like working with Walker Hayes?
Yeah, so I grew up in a rodeo family. So rodeo, cowgirl roots has always been a big part of my life. My dad's an Australian champion bull rider. My mom's an Australian champion barrel racer. And obviously, I married a world champion cowboy here in the States. So, obviously my songs lean towards the cowgirl theme. But specifically, when I moved to Nashville, I was a signed artist, songwriting, just a young up-and-comer. And Walker Hayes, he was not signed at the time. So he was just he had been between record deals, but obviously I knew he was super, super talented. And he was kind enough to start songwriting with me. And he and I formed such a great friendship. I mean, we would write every week. He is one of the most genuine family men you would meet. One thing about Walker that was fun was you would go into a songwriting room and you'll talk about ideas. Super fun, just kind of talk about ideas. I was like, we were talking about my husband. I'm like, oh, these are all the things that cowgirls like about cowboys. And that's kind of how the conversation started. And then with Walker, when we write, it's a little bit different. We start building the track. So the melody and the drums, all the track on Pro Tools before we even bring the lyrics in, which makes it even funner. But then, because it just makes the lyrics flow. So this song probably took 45 minutes to write. Once we had the melody, it was quick. By the time we left that day songwriting, we had the whole demo track done, because Walker is an amazing musician and he actually would build the demo track right there. So some of my favorite songs I've written are with him. And obviously I had another single out first. I felt like my last single, Take Me Back to Texas, kind of showed the journey I had been on. And I don't want to say it was safer to come back after taking a break. But it just was a little, and then this song is more of me. Obviously, I love performing live, and this song embraces what I like doing, which is performing and having fun. So this is one of those songs that I cannot wait to start performing live. And it's really fun seeing the response. The song's been out now for 48 hours. And there's been over 800,000 people view the music video in 48 hours, which is just crazy.
We saw the YouTube. We were like earlier, it was like 300 and something thousand views, just YouTube.
Yeah. So, I'm very, very grateful. I'm like, okay, people like this music. I'm like, they don't think it's, I'm a mom of 3 kids. So obviously you're like, okay, I wonder what people are going to think when I'm strutting around in my mini skirt, but obviously my husband's in the bar scene. So it's okay.
So that's your husband in the scene?
Yeah, so my husband's the one at the bar that asked for 2 drinks, and ironically, my husband doesn't even drink, so he was very believable. We had lots of. It was a fun video because I was able to incorporate a lot of like friends and rodeo people into it, and I had my Australian music producer Duncan Toombs fly over and shoot the music video here in Texas. So yeah.
So you're talking about your husband on that. What's it like balancing everything, between couple businesses,
motherhood,
you're singing, motherhood? I mean, you're balancing a lot.
Yes. Well, I do like coffee, and I do drink quite a bit of coffee. No, but on a serious note, I think that I've always been a very busy-minded person, and I like to stay busy. So for me, it's actually better for me to have my hands doing a lot of different things. Obviously, when I took a break from the music industry, I feel like we all have seasons, and I needed to take a season away. I had got signed a record deal at 16 and had
Oh,
10
wow.
years of touring and being in the spotlight at a young age. And it was a lot. Like I needed to take a break. I started our family. We had our businesses, and it was a forced break. My record label actually shut down in Nashville. So
Oh,
it
wow.
wasn't a break that I chose to take, but I had to embrace that season. And
I guess them
honestly,
shutting down was better than them letting you go.
oh, for sure. Yeah. But I mean, it allowed me to spend the time songwriting in Nashville, and it allowed me to do all the other things I've done. But it also allowed me to get my fire back for music. You do get burnt out, you know, and
Yeah.
I just about a year ago, our 8-year-old daughter asked me, Mom, she said, I haven't seen you perform much. And I was like, well, you have, but you were just so little.
Yes.
And she said, well, why are you not doing it anymore? And I didn't have a good reason. I mean, my mind wanted to say, well, because I'm a mom of 3, and you know, I'm married and I have businesses and like all the other excuses I could find. But like deep down, I was like, that's just creating an excuse. And honestly, that's what made me be like, you know what? I'm going to lead by example to not only my girls, but to other women, that it's okay if, no matter how young or old you are, but it's okay if you've got family and other things, we can multitask, obviously.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm loving it. Obviously I have a supportive husband, but he's also had retired and then unretired. So now he's on the road.
Oh,
He
wow.
comes Friday for 3 hours, and then he's gone another 8 weeks. So we literally are just, I've just got back off the road. I was going touring for 6 weeks, just got back because the kids are starting school and I'm promoting the new song. But yeah, it's a fun, adventurous life.
You know, you're talking about the burnout and all that, and you had to take a break. We kind of did the same thing with our show, you know, from we launched in 2020, right before the pandemic started. But when the pandemic happened, we exploded because nobody had nothing to do except talk. So we ended up doing, over the next 3 years, from 2020 to 23, over 600 interviews in that time.
Yeah.
And so, and then I had another brand that all of a sudden took off. So we kind of put this on hiatus for a year or two to get our composure, build that. And now we're kind of back and trying to get our feet back wet again. So it's been, you know, we totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. You know, and the COVID time was such an interesting time. I still released music back in Australia because nobody was touring. So I could put music out, and I wasn't expected to tour. So for me, it was somewhat an okay thing because I was still like, I didn't have to go home and I could still promote my music. But now, you know, it's what I'm looking forward to most is next year starting to do shows and tour and get back on the road, because that really was, you know, one of my favorite things to do. Obviously, would I go on a worldwide tour? I mean, probably not currently with everything I have going on in the kids, but will I go touring? Would I get on a tour? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would love to be able to, you know, take the kids with me and show them, you know, what my life looked like pre them. Obviously, like my number one songs were way before children. But yeah, it's a fun ride. But I mean, obviously there's a lot to juggle, and I'm excited about this second song, and, you know, people are seeming to really get behind it because, you know, obviously social media is just a platform, but it is a good gauge to see if people are interested in what you're doing. But I'm obviously trying to keep it in a positive way, trying to like influence women. And you know, one thing I always do say in my interviews is to like the teenage girls out there, you can hear my children in the background because school has stuff. I always say to teenage girls that, hey, what you see on social media isn't always 100% real. We do not wake up like that. We're going to post the highlights of our life. And that's what happens. But I do tell our kids that too. I'm like, look, no, this is not all what you think it is. So, you know, because I know what it was like when, you know, when we grew up, we didn't have all of that, and there was still so much peer pressure. So, you know, obviously I would be able to be real and be like, girls, this, you know, you got makeup, you got hair, like it's not all, don't try and compare yourself to what you're seeing that we're putting, you know, out there.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. Did you have like an aha moment that was like, wow, this could be a career?
Yeah. So my career kind of started, my dad rode bulls in the PBR in the US when I was younger. and I fell in love with the 90s country. So, obviously I didn't grow up in a musical family, but I loved music. So I went home to Australia. I started singing the national anthem at rodeos, and that was great. And then I was doing talent quest, but I never won at the talent quest. They said that I was too different or I sounded weird. But I just took that as I'm different. That's good.
Yeah.
Unique.
But I was performing the national anthem at a rodeo, and I seen a big tour bus parked there. And I said to my dad, can I knock on that tour bus door and just see who this famous guy is? And I did. And I knocked on the I was 14 years old, and he came to the door, and I introduced myself, and I was like, do you have a support act? And his support act had gotten sick. He's like, he's like, do you have a band? I'm like, I have karaoke. So I had my karaoke CD, and he put me on stage 2 hours before him. And there was 3 people in the audience, and 2 of them were my parents, but I performed like there was 10,000 people. And then he asked me, my parents, a couple weeks later, if I'd go on his Australian tour with him. Then lo and behold, he ended up being my manager, and we co-wrote my first album together. He was actually the one who came to the States with me when I first moved over here as well. So it's amazing that, God puts opportunities in front of us. And I just think now, what if I hadn't have done that? What if I hadn't have knocked on that tour bus door? What would life look like now?
Life would be different.
But that was kind of the moment, that was my moment of aha. But obviously when I signed my first record deal at 16, record labels, there wasn't 10 of them like there are in Nashville. There was 2. So it was very hard to get a record deal. So when I signed my record deal, I was like, wow, this is insane. Like how, and I guess there was nobody doing what I was doing at the time. And I was very blessed to have 2 number 1 songs off the first album, and then another 3 off the second album. And then I had it definitely was. And it wasn't because I don't sing like Carrie Underwood. I don't have a voice like her, but I was relatable, and people wanted to hear it. Yes. So it was pretty crazy. I was finishing school on the road touring, and ironically, those kids that might not have been my friends pre-signing a record deal now were my friends. And it was, I look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love that. So as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in everything that you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to get to any level within entertainment. And in my opinion, nobody really talks about this side of it, but on our show we do. So take a few moments and just tell us about that side of it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've had so many. I mean, if you go back from the first time, the talent quest, not even placing, you're not good enough. You don't sound right. I mean, that's the first, opportunity.
The rejection.
Like, oh, I'm going to quit because they don't think I'm good enough. So that, that's one of few. And then, obviously when I started singing, I was different. I wore a cowgirl hat. I sung about the things I wanted to sing about. And I had non-believers in Australia. I had booking agents that wouldn't book me on their festivals because they didn't think that that what I was doing was what they liked. So obviously I had that, but it made me want to prove them wrong as well. And then when I moved to Nashville and my record label shuts down, I moved my whole world to Nashville, and my song was at radio for 3 weeks doing great. The whole world was, everything was ahead of me. And then bam, get a phone call, my record label shuts down. So you're going to have the downs. If you don't have the downs, there's been countless times I've just like, when I moved to Texas with my husband, I had $600 to my name. I was like, what now? How did I get to here? What does this look like? But it's how you handle the downs, what makes the up so much more rewarding. And you can look back now and be like, oh, that door closed for that reason. That door closed for this reason. Because now, I got my family, my kids, our businesses. We have Shea Baby kids clothing, and it's in about 2,500 stores throughout the US. And it's like a little cute, stylish Western line that I make for kids. And then we have our belt buckle company. So, I wouldn't have any of those if the doors didn't close. And then now I've had the opportunity to come back in, but also the same thing. It's like releasing music. I don't know. Who's to say coming back into the industry last year that I would get 0 downloads and nobody would listen to anything I did. Like you're going to take a risk. Yeah. If you're scared of failure, don't even try, because you're going to fail and you're going to have to get back up and try again.
So was there ever a moment to where things were just not going your way, where you just thought, you know what, I'm done? Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
I mean, I stepped away from the music industry when my record label shut down. I got very bitter on Nashville because I felt like my opportunity was taken away. And I was watching all of my friends, Thomas Rhett, Walker Hayes, all these friends of mine on the CMT boards, having number 1 songs. And we were all, kind of in the same circle. So obviously that was really hard. I mean, my husband will tell you, I didn't pick up a guitar for 2 years.
Wow.
Couldn't turn the CMT TV show on for 2 years. Couldn't watch a music award show. I was like, absolutely not, because that should be me on there. So I really struggled, and I didn't know if I ever would get back into music at that time.
Yeah.
But I had to realize my identity wasn't in how many number 1 songs I had on radio, who liked my music, because it had been from such a young age. It was very hard to separate myself from that. So once I realized that wasn't my true identity, I was able to let go and start to regain that passion again. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, my husband was like, why don't you even touch your guitar? You never even sing around the house. I literally just zoned that part out of my life for about 2 years. And then he's like, oh, you're singing around the house again. I see you touching your guitar. So it comes back, and it's okay. It's okay to go through those seasons. But yeah, absolutely. I thought I was done, but God had other plans.
Here you are. So as you know, that people see you, but they don't see the team around you. In our opinion, teams never get any love. On our show, they get some love. So take a few moments and just tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
Oh my gosh, you can't do it without a team, not with what I'm doing. I mean, obviously my husband's very supportive, and my parents from Australia live here in the US, and they're a huge help with everything that we're doing. We actually live on the same ranch together. So that is a huge blessing. But with our companies, I mean, I have a great group of women, all girls that help run our companies, that allow me to be on the road touring and doing everything I'm doing. And without people back home that are capable, I couldn't be doing it all. And then I have a fabulous friend that helps me with the kids, and she's amazing, because I can either work from home or be here and take the kids. We went to Nashville, the kids come, and then she travels with us. So that's amazing.
That's awesome.
We have the ability to have them with us. Obviously there is 3. So if I didn't have somebody with me, it's just impossible to wrangle a 4, 6, and 9-year-old backstage. So I do have help. But yeah, absolutely. That's why I feel like God places the different people around you, so that when the time's right, it's all there. So yeah, definitely have an amazing team. I'm sure I missed people, but yeah, I have a great group of people around us that support us. And, we always have everyone has their struggles, but you gotta have good people around you.
Speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our 13-year-old son. He always comes on asking questions.
Yes,
so Sandy's going to go get him.
Okay, go get him.
While we're waiting on him, what's kind of next for you?
Well, I'm releasing the second single. So obviously my goal is to start touring again in 2026. That's a big thing for me. I want to get back on the road, and I want to start touring. I have more singles. I have other music videos ready to go, and other singles, because obviously getting back into the music industry, I want to make sure I had enough content that when I'm going to do it, I'm all in. I didn't want an excuse of, I don't have another music video ready. No, I do, because I shot 3 at once. So yeah, we'll be having music, for the next, hopefully we're back in, and hopefully we're touring and doing so much stuff. But the National Finals Rodeo comes up in December. Obviously that's a big one, because my husband hopefully will qualify for that, and I'll have shows and different events out there. But yeah, no, it's been a busy season. Obviously you've had to be patient too, because you're coming back into the industry from being out of it for so long. So you're having to build yourself back up again. But like I said, it's the seasons, everything in the right timing.
The good thing is, when you make a comeback, the people that always believed in you will still believe in you.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. So
Good.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is mangoes. I love Australian mangoes and seafood.
Look how tall he is.
I know, he's like a grown man. What other questions? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is pizza.
Well, of course, you're a teenage boy. Clearly,
Yeah.
I can't keep my figure over here eating pizza. So it's mango.
Oh my. All right, I got another question. So, what's one of the coolest experiences you've had on your journey so far?
That's a good one. So this is a random thing, but about 2 months ago, I got asked to sing the national anthem at a Texas Rangers game. God bless America. And I had never sung the American national anthem because I'm Australian. So I was so nervous, but so excited at the same time, because if you screw that up, like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to sing the national anthem in front of the
Oh my
40,000
gosh.
people there. And it was really cool. It was a pretty cool experience. And my family were there, so that made it even better.
So what did people think that you being Australian singing our national anthem?
Well, I don't think a lot of the people in the grandstand knew until they started Googling me and looking it up. But yeah, I mean, obviously I got somewhat got found. You know, my career is based off me singing the anthem at rodeos in Australia. So I did that a lot. But it's ironic, after singing at the Texas Rangers, now getting more people ask me, hey, can you sing the national anthem? So
anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Well,
All
what's your coolest experience so far in your
I think my cool experience, I got to do the drums in Nashville.
Very cool.
I'll tell the story for him a little bit. It was our first time ever visiting Nashville. It was in 21. And we were walking down close to Broadway, and we were in front of Honky Tonk Central. And this guy runs out of Honky Tonk Central, said that drummer wanted to give him this drum, the drumstick. So we thought that was the cool part. So he gets the drumstick. So we walk across the street, and then we're sitting there and listening to the music from Dierks Bentley Road through the window. And the lady on the stage, I can't remember who she was, but she looks out the window as she's singing, and she sees the drumstick in his hand. So she jumps down and says, how would you like to jump up here and play the drums with us while we play a song? And so she pulls him through the window. Now, I'm the father. I'm going to film this. So I climb through the window. I climb through the window with the phone recording and all that. And he's on the thing and playing Summer of '69, just hitting the drums while they sing.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sure it's around 200 people.
That's so cool. A good work.
And that was our first. And that was our first experience in that. I mean, in Broadway. I mean, it was like we just left the hotel, we got parked, and this happened as we left the vehicle.
Wow. Maybe it's a future. Maybe you have a future career.
That would be a cool story for him if he ever became a drummer.
Yeah, it would be super cool. I love that. Well, hey.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for asking some questions. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
That's a good one.
And you can even pick one of each, one that's not here and one that isn't.
Yeah. I mean, probably because I grew up on their music. I absolutely loved Garth Brooks growing up, but I've actually written with Pat Alger, who wrote a lot of his music before.
Oh, wow.
But I think maybe Shania Twain would be super cool. But obviously, if I'm going to write with Shania, I'd got to have Mutt there. So I'd have to have him and her together to get the sound that I think would be super, super cool. I mean, a lot of the artists, that are writing the amazing songs have amazing songwriters behind them. But probably Mutt and Shania would be pretty dang cool, just because I idolized her growing up. That would be pretty cool.
One of the Shania songs was our wedding song, so that was
I love
cool.
that. That's so cool.
So she's awesome.
Yes, she's wonderful.
So what's a song that you've written that means the most to you, and why?
That's a good one. I've written a lot of songs, and there's a lot of them about life experience. I'm thinking out like in my mind. There's a song called Don't Rush that I wrote that I had out. It was #1 song in Australia. It was about just not rushing through those moments of relationships. And it had a great video, and my family was in the video, and that was a pretty cool song. That was just because I feel like it actually could help people and help younger people coming into relationships, and like, don't just jump all the way in, like, take your time, enjoy every moment. So that's a pretty cool song. I would think Don't Rush. I mean, I have other songs that I think were great songs. I have a song called Tattoo that I think is such a great hit. But yeah, that's tough because every song that I write that I would release means something to me in some form or style. So.
So is there a song that you get emotional when you sing it? Is that the one, or is it another one?
I have a song that I sing. I sung at an acoustic show with Easton Colburn called "Hold Your Horses," and that's a really cool song because it's got like my dad involved in it. But no, I mean, not emotional, like crying emotional. I mean, I think performing is an emotional journey with the highs and the lows, and you want to take people on a roller coaster ride. I mean, some of the emotions I get that are like the fun emotions are just as cool as those other ones. I mean, I think more so the emotions that come are when you're looking out to thousands of people knowing your songs word by words. That's when I would get emotional on stage.
Love that. So where do you want to be in 5 years?
I want to be a great mom still. I want to be I would like to have released more music, obviously, and be touring. I'd like songs on the radio here in the US as like to the extent I have in Australia. I would love to continue to grow our businesses and have Shea Baby as a household name. You know, that's definitely a big goal of mine. But you know, you can say what you want to do in 5 years. I always think it's great to set goals and dreams, but it's going to be completely different because the door's going to open, the door's going to close, and you know, you're just going to get, you know, the road gets winding. You know, who knows which way you're going to go. But obviously, I want to keep being successful and driven, and you know, sky's the limit. I like setting goals, but yeah, definitely, I don't like to put a limit on, you know, where I think the future can go.
Yeah, let's look further down the road, and whatever it is you've made it in your eyes on a big scale, whatever that is. What do you hope you never forget along that journey?
I think where you come from, you know, I think that's super important, and the people that have helped you along the way. I think as you become more and more successful, sometimes it's easy to forget the ride you've been on and the downs and stuff. You know, I think it's important to remember, like, it can be taken from you as quick as you get it. So I think it's about staying humble and knowing that you're put in front of a spotlight for a reason to help other people.
Love that. You know, great answer. So as we close out here, what advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do?
It's okay to be different. Don't try and be another Taylor Swift. Don't try and be another Carrie Underwood. There's already one of them. So try and be unique. I think it's very important in today's times to be like songwriting, so you can come up with your own sounds. But it mightn't happen overnight. It may take 1 year. It might take 10 years. So I think you need to just know that you just have to enjoy the ride as it goes, and, you know, embrace, like we've said, embrace the highs and embrace the lows.
Love that. So any final parting words? And here's your time to tell everybody where they can find you.
Thanks for joining in. I would love you to follow me and my family. So I'm on Instagram. It's just Shea Fisher Music. I have YouTube. We have Facebook. I mean, TikTok, all those young things. But yeah, come follow me. You'll definitely be able to see, you know, more of what I do and our family. But yeah, I appreciate everyone, and go ahead and stream the song. That's what helps independent artists, is streaming the song. So you can find it in all the streaming areas as well.
Love that. You know, and we really enjoyed having you on the show today, and you're welcome to come back anytime.
Perfect. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You have a great day.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye.